Hi, I'm Joanne Rose and you're watching Green Lifestyle TV.
I didn't say fall apart. Okay. I said there'll always be a shadow in front of mine. So the power of my light doesn't shine as brightly until somebody else's light gets. When we all shine our lights together, there's a huge illumination.
No, you're absolutely
And the
right.
power is just, the energy of that power is so strong that no force can push it back.
And really teaching people that they are a light, right? Because I think people are so like job, kids, busy, that it's like they don't even have time to care about the environment because people's lives have gotten ahead of them. And it's like, whoa, you're so special. Take a minute and realize that.
Maybe what we need to stop is stop all this busyness, stop running around wanting to be perfect in every realm, and do exactly as Juxta said, is learn to fall. Allow ourselves to fall. Allow ourselves to make mistakes. Allow ourselves to fall in one arena or two or three or four of our lives, and be okay with that, and then take a moment to breathe.
And know your power. Know that you are so powerful,
And
that you have
breathing.
such light, and that you're here on purpose.
And it's in breathing that we find that. It's in the breath of life.
And I think, too, you touched on teaching, and I think that's such a powerful, and that's why I'm saying the individual stretches, because I so appreciate your perspective. I think we absolutely have to have a variety of perspectives in order to really cover everything, and having one person educate another, you can spread that and you can empower that person, whether it's you can do this to change the environment, or you do have the power to be the person that you want to be. You have more power than you ever thought you had, that you ever dreamed. God, I mean, you could go on and on, and together we can accomplish.
Felicia, what is the Ayurvedic perspective of all of this?
Wow, that is such a big question. And I think one of the things in thinking about the Ayurvedic perspective, but something that, as I've been listening to everybody, is that we're all making the assumption that everyone feels that they're looking at the highest good like we are. Like when we look at something, we're looking at something in terms of what's the benefit in the long term, what's the benefit for all beings, what's the benefit for the planet. And the truth is that not everyone on this planet is looking at things that way. But the Ayurvedic perspective is that everything is intertwined. Everything is intertwined. That our bodies and the body of the earth, our breath, all of us sitting here together, our breaths are intertwined, that there is this connection. And so when we look at what can each of us do, is also, comes down to the practices that we do individually, but also how we contribute to the collective and how we hold everybody accountable and how we do that. And it's not an easy question. It is not.
Well, I would like to offer that everything is unfolding as it ought to. There's nothing wrong with your skill or what's going on.
I have intentions with it.
I know, I know you do. It's what we do with it that's important.
It is what we do with it that's important. And from an Ayurvedic perspective, Ayurveda looks at all of these different causes of disease. That the causes of disease can come from something being out of balance, which we can look at, the world is today. Causes of disease can also come from things that shouldn't be there, or from things that are a parasite, or from things that are evil. So there's lots of things that can happen, but it does also come down to what can we each do to bring things into balance. And it depends, there's so many different spiritual perspectives and ways to look at it, and it's how do we each hold our own and stay in our own power and find that sense of our own true nature. That from an Ayurvedic perspective, our own health and well-being comes from finding our own connection to ourselves, each other, our view of the divine, and it's only through that connection that true healing comes. Whenever there's a separation, there is always a state of disease, whether it's individual, collective, the planet.
So Tamara, based on that, what would be the gift in this of the oil spill in Mexico? What for you is the gift?
I think the gift is like back to the addiction model. You have to hit bottom before you can really say, hey, there's something
literally
wrong
and figuratively.
here. We are hitting bottom. Mother Earth is hitting bottom. We're going to have to look at what we've done to ourselves, take responsibility for it, and realize that along with the Ayurvedic thing, that there's a oneness. And stop trying to blame BP, because that makes us the victim, and it puts the veil of separation and duality. But if we can bring things together and realize that we are one, and oneness and healing is, healing is about becoming one. It's becoming whole. It's realizing our power. And
so if that is so, what parts of our lives are we BP?
Oh, that's easy, because when I first
heard of the spill, actually my first reaction was denial. I'm like, they'll handle it. I'm sure they have a backup plan. Apparently they don't, and right? So that was my first, was sort of denial, and then it was like a couple weeks, and I'm like, what do you mean it's still gushing in the Gulf? What is going on? So then it was rage. It was just rage, boycott BP. I would drive by the Arco and say, don't fill up at the gas station. I was infuriated. Then from rage, I had this sobering moment when I learned of the BP companies, Arco, AM/PM. I'm like, gee, I fill up at AM/PM. I've filled up at AM/PM since I was a little kid, and I just was like, I'm the junkie. Like, you know, the addiction analogy, I'm the junkie, and BP is my dealer.
But Sasha, in your life,
right?
How are you BP?
By being their customer. That's how I act.
No. In your life, how do you act like BP does?
Ignoring a problem, or
well, what did BP and the other petroleum industries do? They went into the ocean, and they dug holes there. To do what?
To give me my gas.
Yes. In what way do we go where we ought not to tread and force things just for our own pleasure and our own satisfaction in your own life? That's what I'm saying it's a metaphor for. We need to look at our lives and see, instead of blaming BP, saying it's the problem that BP created, how do we do this? And how to really become, I'm going to call myself BP. How am I BP? Where is the BP-ness in me?
well, it's like the BP, the practices aren't sustainable. So where are we not sustainable? Where are we using plastic every day where we're going and getting our latte or our takeout from wherever?
Or where do we drill holes? Where in our life is energy spilling out? What are the band-aids we put in our life that really do not at all address the real issue?
Or where are we rushing through something without thinking of the consequences?
Right. Anywhere we're in denial, like we all would like to say that we're conscious and I have this holistic center, but here I am. I mean, I am using gasoline. You know, it's like, where are we unconscious? And it's just, that's a gift to be able to even see that.
So thank you, BP.
Thank you for being a mirror.
For being a mirror, right?
Yes, exactly. Mia.
I'm not grateful.
Why?
Because they suck.
It's so easy to say this. It's so easy to give our power away to something or an entity or someone else and say, wait a second. It's very easy to blame because in blaming, we separate ourselves from the source of the blame. However, what I'm saying...
I'm not really separating myself. Like, if I'd done that, I would say, me and you suck.
Right.
I would.
But why?
It's like,
why do you beat
said,
upon yourself? Why do you beat upon yourself? Why don't you say, I am obviously, I am a repository of the critical mass. What I am doing right now, I have created harm. I have created harm to myself and to others. What can I do to clean up my own wounds so my wounds do not spill out and wound everybody else?
Well, you take a moral inventory of yourself and then you make amends. And making amends is not just, hey, I'm sorry, but it's living a new way of life that makes up for the bad way that you've been living. And you know, that's kind of like part of the 12-step process continued. I mean, if you look at the 12 steps for people with addictions, it can work for the planet as well. One of the interesting things I realized, I went whale watching a year ago and just taking pictures of everything. And I recently pulled out that slideshow and I looked at it again and there were pictures of the oil rigs out there and I was shocked to see them. I was like, I don't remember those a year ago. A year ago, I was blind to those things. I just thought, oh, there's an oil rig out there. But now I see it and I see evil. You know?
Another gift from BP. It's a gift from BP.
My eyes are open now. I see. I was blind to that in the past. Now we know.
And environmental groups that have been saying don't drill offshore, and they've just been sort of like swept aside for so many years. Well, now we know why.
I think it's interesting
drill
actually
offshore.
that BP was seen as one of, I mean, they were really promoting themselves as one of the more green
absolutely
oil companies.
Well, this is why it's a gift.
They sponsor
us.
It's
Hi, I'm Joanne Rose, and you're watching Green Lifestyle TV.